So we have here lesson 59, Laborers in the Vineyard. We'll start reading there at verse 1 of Matthew chapter 20. So follow along and pay attention so you can answer questions later on. But got Jesus telling a parable here. That's right where we start out. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour, and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. Again he went out about the 6th hour and 9th hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing idle, and saith unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle? They say unto him, Because no man hath hired us. He saith unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that ye shall receive. So, when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard saith unto his steward, Call the laborers, and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more. And they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the goodman of the house, saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny? Take that as thine, and go thy way. I will give unto this last, even as unto thee. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with my own? In thine eye evil, because I am good? So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few are chosen. So here we've got a story of a man who owns a vineyard. The man who owns a vineyard is a picture of God. So therefore the steward, the man then in charge of the vineyard, to find those who will labor there and to pay them, who is that a picture of, do you think? The steward who works in the vineyard. Garrett? It's Christ. Okay? And he goes out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And he says in verse 3, a marketplace. He saw others standing idle in the marketplace. That's a picture of the world. All men are commanded to come work here in this vineyard. Okay. Put advertisements up, you can do whatever. These people in the marketplace were called, come work in this vineyard. And there you will receive a great reward. Many of them kind of ignored it. I've got better things to do, or I don't want to do that. But some who heed the call, obey the call, they come to the vineyard. Okay? And they get there early in the morning, and they agree with the steward that for a day's wage, or for a day's work, they will receive what wage? Joe? What will be their wage for 1 day? 1 penny. That's what they're going to get. They're going to get 1 penny. That was a typical daily wage in the Bible. Okay? What we would call a penny. It's a little bit different from what they call a penny in the Bible times, but that was the wages for a day. Sounds good. But there's not enough laborers in the vineyard. More work to do. The steward goes back, and others begin to come in. Some a few hours later, and then a few hours later, maybe at 9 o'clock in the day, you can imagine some come at noon. Okay, well, others have been working for 6 hours already. Others come at 3 o'clock. And maybe if you can imagine that quitting time would be about 6 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, a few more show up to work at the vineyard. And with each and every one, the steward makes an agreement. For your labor for me today, I will pay you, Micah, what? A penny. Okay. So they work. They work in the vineyard. Some there work a long time. Others of just a short time. Those who come then at the end of the day now expect to receive their pay. So the master, the owners, tells his steward, give them their reward. Okay, pay them. But start with the last and work your way towards the first. So the people who came in at the 11th hour at 5 o'clock, they've only been working 1 hour, they receive a penny. And so do the people that came in at 3 o'clock and at noon and at 9 o'clock. Till finally those that were there right at the crack of dawn, 6 a.m., they were ready to work. They've been working tirelessly all day, right through the heat of the day. They expect to get a little bit more, but instead they too receive what was agreed upon, and they get how much, Jen? A penny. And immediately, what is their reaction? What is their reaction here? Grant? Those people who worked all day and got just a penny. What's their reaction? It's only natural. That's our human thing, right? If you've been working all day at something and someone came and just showed up for 15, 20 minutes and you got the exact same pay, well, you would be upset. Why did I show up then all day? They murmured against the goodman of the house. They were upset. So let's see what some of those meanings are there then. Those who are upset, who think they've done the most work and deserve a great reward, but don't get exactly what they want, who are they a picture of? Who's Jesus trying to make a picture of with those people? Take a guess. Micah. Who might they be? It's not in the Bible. It's a guess. Not God's people in this sense. Jen? Pharisees. Okay, they're the ones who think their own works, all this work I did, should earn me a great reward. No. No, it doesn't. Okay. And then we have those who come in at different hours. Okay. You can be thankful your parents have raised you as a child of God since your birth. But there may be some who are believers who come in at the end days. Okay, we think of the thief on the cross. He didn't know God but for an hour or two. And he was brought into the kingdom of heaven. He's like the person who came in just 1 hour before the end of the day, but still receive the same reward. That's why that penny is the same. What's the reward that everybody gets, Jesse? Penny. But what is that a picture of? Here, yeah, it's a picture of salvation. Good. We only get the exact same reward as everyone else. Don't think that because you've been so much better than everyone else, you're going to get a greater reward. That's what the Pharisees were thinking. Nope, that's not the case. Okay? The reward is the same for everyone. Another thing that we can see too. Okay. Many have different talents and abilities as well. Okay. That's also a picture that we can look here. Not everyone comes at the exact same time. Well, it can be a picture of not having the same talents and abilities. Some may say, well, I deserve a higher place in the kingdom of heaven, or I deserve a greater reward because I served as an elder, or I served as I'm a minister, or I'm a teacher. Nope, that's not the case. Okay. We also can learn to appreciate here too levels of wisdom. Some may be very wise. And then we may have those who don't know very much. But yet, if they believe, that's the basis. Okay? Then they receive that reward. So, okay, we need to be careful that we likewise don't fall into that, well, I'm much better than that person because my faith is so much stronger than them. No, that's not the case. Or, well, that guy just joined the church a few weeks ago. I should have a higher place, or more important, everyone should listen to me first. No, that's not necessarily the case. You may understand more things, know more things. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have a higher place than anyone else. Right? So, then we see that last line. Many be called, but few chosen. Okay? The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. We have to humble ourselves. We've talked about that quite a bit. Okay? The first shall be last. But also, many be called, and few are chosen. God commands all men to come to Him, to confess their sins, and confess that He is Lord. But many of them don't. They were the ones standing in the marketplace who maybe heard this steward call out for workers. Come, we need workers in our vineyard. But they thought, nah, I'll earn my money a different way. They thought they could earn their own salvation. Or I don't even need that. I can do it a totally different way. And that was not proper and not right. So we can remember that too. Salvation is not of ourselves. It is of God. All right, continue on here. We get a little story about James and John. Some things that they do. Verse 17. Make sure you're following along there. Let's pick that up. Verse 17 of chapter 20. And Jesus, going up to Jerusalem, took the 12 disciples apart in the way, and said unto them, Behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man shall be betrayed unto the chief priests and unto the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall deliver him to the Gentiles to rob, or to mock, and to scourge, and to crucify him. And the third day he shall rise again. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshipping him, and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, What wilt thou? She saith unto him, Grant that these my 2 sons may sit, the one on the right hand, and the other on the left, in thy kingdom. But Jesus answered and said, Ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They saith unto him, We are able. And he saith unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. And when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the 2 brethren. And Jesus called them unto him, and said, Ye know not, or ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you, but whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. And as they departed from Jericho, a great multitude followed him. The mother of James and John, what's her request? What does she want of Jesus for her 2 sons? Courtney? All right. Honored positions. If you have a king sitting on a throne, you have his right-hand man and his left-hand man. 2 people who are very important. The closer to the king, the more important you are. That's what the mother of James and John, her name is Salome, that's what she wants here for her sons. Jesus, give them a special place. They're so great, right? Every mother thinks her children are great and better than the others, maybe. Jesus has to teach them and say no. Okay? And then he asks them a little bit of a question. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And they all say to him, well, we are able. And he has to teach them, no. The cup that I drink is a cup of iniquity, to take on your sins. Okay? And the baptism that I'm baptized with is nothing that anyone else can bear, for one must be truly God and truly man, and must be perfect. And none of them are able. But he did say unto them, ye shall indeed drink of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. You will be persecuted. You will suffer. Jesus knows already. There's Peter. He'll be beheaded. Okay? He'll be killed. Here's another one of my disciples here. He also will lose his life. And so will this one over here. You too will suffer, just not the suffering that I have to suffer. And it's not my job to determine who will sit where in heaven, who will have what place. That is my Father's, Jesus says, not mine. It's not my decision. I won't do that. And then we read there, and then the 10 heard it. They were moved with indignation. It sounds as though they're jealous. Well, they're jealous. Maybe not so much of James and John, but they're jealous. They want to, well, if there's going to be different places in heaven, where will our place be? I mean, it should definitely be an important place because, well, look at how great we are. And then Jesus has to teach them right away, whoa. Now you sound no different than what group of people? Jennifer? Now you sound no different than the Pharisees. And that's what he says. Ye know the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, that they are great, that are great exercise authority upon them. They are rulers, the Pharisees, who think they are so much greater and so much better, and they tell everyone exactly what they need to do. But yet, Jesus says here, if you want to be chief, if you want to be a great leader, lead not by going around and telling everyone to worship you and bow down to you and think you're great. Be a great leader by being a godly example. Be a servant to everyone around you, and in that way, you will become great. Serve others around you. There are many who are on this earth who we think we are better than. Maybe even your classmate. Oh, I'm better than them. I don't do that. Or I don't behave that way. But yet, to be a true leader, we must humble ourselves and realize I need to serve others. I be a true leader by helping, letting others go first. Letting others have what they want might be the best. And that way I show I'm a true leader. Okay? That's the beauty of it. So we can remember some of those lessons here today too. Don't think we can earn our own salvation. The salvation that God gives to each one of you is exactly the same as everyone else's. Okay? And in your lifetime, as more people may join the church, don't think you're any better than them. Well, I can't believe they did that. Or, wow, they lived a life of sin for a while. Maybe we think of the parable of the prodigal son who left. And the other son who stayed home, he thought he was so much better. But he was wrong. Be humble. Be meek. Okay? And also be a servant of others. And that way one becomes a true leader and has a blessed place in the kingdom of heaven.